Good evening, everybody. My name is Tina Fey.
And I'm Amy Adams, and it's our pleasure to say, welcome to the Graham Norton Show.
Everyone, good evening. You're all very welcome to the show. We're still in lockdown, so our usual studio audience are watching from home. Hello, audience. There they go. Oh, a wall of people. Hey, good to be back. There's been a lot going on. This man left his job. Oh. Surely Gwyneth Paltrow's head's in that box. I'm sure she is. As Dominic Cummings left Number 10, there was a hushed, solemn mood inside. Hey! And celebrations elsewhere. Scientists announced a COVID vaccine. Yay! They're up to 95% effective. Yay! Maybe we can spend Christmas with our families. Oh. Now, these different vaccines bring their own challenges with them. The Pfizer one, for instance, the government needs to work out how to deliver it and make sure it's at a completely stone-cold minus 80 degrees. So their initial plan is to use Deliveroo. Yeah, that's very funny. Other shit delivery services are available. Yeah. Now, who do we have on the show tonight? Well, with me here in the studio is top comic Romesh Ranganathan, superstar TV cook and author Nigella Lawson, the charming and brilliant Hugh Grant. Plus, we'll be connecting to the comedy genius that is Tina Fey. We'll be joined by 6-time Oscar nominee Amy Adams. And we'll have music live in the studio from the fabulous Dua Lipa. Yeah. She'll be over there giving it her all for 4 people. Yuck it up. So, welcome to you all. Now, how was your lockdown? Because you got it, didn't you?
I got it, and I was very brave and manly about it. Yeah, I got it back right at the beginning. At least I didn't know what it was. It felt like flu, a little mild flu. And then suddenly, yeah, a complete, rather alarming loss of smell, which did culminate in me, you know, panicking and sticking my head in dustbins, sniffing, thinking there must be something here, and then spraying myself in the face with my wife's Chanel No. 5. And smelt nothing, but went blind.
And how long did it last for?
Well, the flu lasted for nothing, for 3 or 4 days, but the sense of smell was weeks.
Really?
Yeah, well, that was slightly alarming.
Did it stop you being interested in eating at all when you...
I've never been very interested in eating, is the truth.
But was it difficult to eat without any smell?
Well, it was a little dull. It was a little dull, but then I was cooking, because it was lockdown, so it was never going to be delicious.
So maybe it was good.
Yes, it was
I cooked every single night for 3.5 months, a baked potato. That was it.
Well, baked potatoes... I love a baked potato.
What do you put on them?
Cheese. Grated cheddar.
For 3 months.
The way you said cheese there was like that was a new discovery. Actually,
I'm a bit of a quirky chef. I put cheese.
Maybe baked beans, if you're feeling flashy.
And Romesh, lockdown, wife and children. How many kids do you have now?
3 boys.
3 boys?
Yeah.
So was it happy families throughout, or...?
No, because just before lockdown, I was away a lot doing travel shows and stuff, and I think that my wife and kids were when the lockdown happened, they were like, well, at least we're going to see more of you. That's great. And I think the gloss came off me in a big way as a father and a husband. I mean, they really did get fed up with me. I think my wife was phoning the BBC asking them to commission a new travel show. It's difficult. We both had teaching backgrounds, and so, you know, people sort of think that the homeschooling will be easier if you've done... But I just don't think kids can respect you in a teaching way if they've seen you taking a shit. You know, I think all of your authority is gone, so that was tricky. I did get quite into this whole sort of loungewear in a big way.
Oh, yes.
I really, really am a big fan of it, you know, and so I actually, the other day, I bought a jumpsuit. Just because I just thought it's one It's one... You put it on one thing.
I'm dressed.
Yeah.
I'm in it. I'm dressed.
It's incredible because it's got a double zip. So, you know, I was worried... Not worried. Worried is way too strong a word. But I was concerned about going to the toilet. I thought, am I going to have to completely disrobe?
Of course, yeah.
It's a double-ended zip. You could just zip from below. It's incredible.
I had one of those in the 70s. It was my first trendy garment. Bought it on the King's Road. I was very proud of it. But I got the size wrong. And if it was too short from crotch to shoulder, so I had to be slightly stooped the whole time. Also, it had cheap dyes, so every time I took it off, my eye was blue. But you're unshaggable.
Yes. Fortunately for me, I've got 3 children. That's all done anyway.
Are you a pyjamas all day woman in lockdown?
I have to say to you that actually I've been working at home since I was 27, so I haven't really got dressed for decades. I mean, unless I have to for work.
Yeah.
So I have many all-in-one romper suits. Yes, and I have just been looking at Christmas pyjamas to wear in the daytime. I mean, my postman has never seen me dressed. And, the post doesn't come early anymore. But I'm either in...
You're wearing something.
No, yes, I am.
Yeah.
So I'm either in... I wear sort of like shorts and a vest for exercise, my exercise in the morning.
Yes.
And then I think, I can't be bothered to... I'll leave that on all day. Or I've just got some stained all-in-one garment.
Well, that sounds lovely.
And it's...
Do you know what's the worst bedtime look I've ever seen? My brother's. You've met Jamie.
I have.
I didn't realise the other day, for the last 30 years, he's been going to bed in a T-shirt, rather short, and nothing else.
My brother does that.
What's that?
It is unacceptable, man.
Oh, that is
I tell you
weird.
what it is. I think it's so your shoulders don't get cold while you're reading.
I've an awful feeling this... Well, anyway. That's a nice excuse. That's a nice reason. Let's go with yours.
That's my charitable reason.
But when they bring you a cup of tea in the morning...
No,
when
I
you're staying
presume he
with them,
takes it off.
the hell is that?
I presume he takes it off to sleep.
No. No, it's like he's like in a little mini... He looks disturbed.
I think they call it Winnie the Poohing, don't they?
Yeah. Do they?
I think it's called Winnie the Poohing.
Oh, he did have a very short...
He had a little top and no bottoms.
That's what they call it.
Yeah, seriously. I didn't just make that up. Right, let's get started. Hugh Grant, he brings us... It is kind of the drama of the year, The Undoing. It continues on Monday at 9 on Sky Atlantic. It's also available on Now TV. And sometimes this happens, just a show really just hits, and everyone's talking about it. But it's quite hard, I imagine, for you to talk about.
Impossible. Impossible, because, yes, it's just full of precipices and... I don't want to give things away, but what could I say? What could I say?
Well, it's difficult because...
What have you seen? You've seen 4 parts?
I've seen lots, but I think that because it's all available,
yeah,
you can't say too much. I think we can say you're accused of a crime.
Well, yeah, by the time people watch this show, whenever that is, I think they'll have seen that I've been naughty. I've not been the nice husband of Nicole Kidman that I pretended to be in the first episode. I have shagged one of the other mothers at school, my kid's school, and pretended to have been going to work as a child oncologist for months and months when, in fact, I was fired ages ago for groping. The question now is, have I...
And what did you do that was wrong?
Well, I agree. So far, so good.
Who plays the baddie?
Yeah. But the question remaining is, did I, hammer this poor woman 16 times in the face?
That question does remain.
Yeah.
I've seen 5 episodes, I still don't know. We've got a clip from The Undoing. This is from next Monday's episode, and it's you discussing your case with the lawyer.
Another reason I couldn't have done it. I loved her. Quite madly. Not something I could say to Grace, you see. It didn't diminish my love for my wife. It was just, different.
Very good. And this is the first time you've worked with Nicole Kidman.
Yeah, that's right. We bumped into each other for years and years, but We never did anything before. I met her way back in the 90s. We had some dinner in London. She was with Tom Cruise. And her sister. And I remember thinking she was odd. I was chatting to Tom Cruise about, I don't know, Mission Impossible or something.
He likes talking about that.
Yes, he's a charming chap. Meanwhile, Nicole is talking to her sister like this. Ah, piggly wiggly wiggly wiggly. And the sister's going, here, poggly woggly woggly woggly. Just going nutters. And it turns out they have a secret language. And that's how they've always spoken since they were children, and they still do. And why not?
Do they still? They still do?
Yeah, piggly wiggly wiggly.
Now, apparently you were slightly surprised that the director for this wanted you, because apparently you have history.
There was an unpleasantness about 10 years ago. When I said I liked a script that she wanted to do, and I said, well, let's just work on it for a bit, because it's not quite right. And I made the poor old studio pay for writer after writer. It was worked on for a year, and at the end, after she'd turned down all other work and virtually sold her house in Denmark to get ready to do this film, I said, no, I'm not doing it. So I was very surprised that she wanted me to do this, but...
Was it a prank, then?
It's like... I'm like a... You know, when a cat catches a bird and half kills it. Is that a prank? Yeah. Or is it something nasty? I don't know.
Let's go with prank. But she's sort of got her own back on set. I mean, she sounds like quite a different sort of director.
Yes, she was utterly charming through pre-production, and you never really know what someone's going to be like on the day on a film set. And she could not have been more terrifying. Suddenly it was, stand up, sit down, go there. I don't like this. And I thought, which is the rudest person I've ever met. But then I realised it's just a Scandi thing, because, in fact, my wife's rather like that. You know, it's Swedes, Danes, they don't do all the, if you don't mind very much, darling, could you possibly... I mean, you know, if it's all right with you, maybe sit over there, which is what I'm more used to.
I did a film in Germany, in Düsseldorf, when I first started doing stand-up, and I auditioned over Skype for this film where I had to play this Indian businessman. The German director sort of got me to go over to Düsseldorf, and I was really excited about being in a film. And it was a similar sort of thing where he hadn't seen on Skype that I had a lazy eye, and he didn't want someone with a lazy eye. So when I turned up, he was mortified, and then he took me to the makeup artist, and he honestly just stood me, and he just pointed, he goes, do something about this now.
It's a miracle. Let's just remind everybody, The Undoing. Remember, we were talking about it. The Undoing. Yeah. We can't wait to see what happens next. It's on Sky Atlantic. Right, let's meet our first remote guest tonight. She's the brains behind 30 Rock, Unbreakable Kimmy Schmidt, and Mean Girls. It's hilarious. Tina Fey, everybody! Oh! Hello, Tina Fey.
Hello, Graham Norton. How are you?
I'm very well. I'm very impressed by your bookcase. It looks so Pierre Cardin, David Bowie.
This bookcase makes it seem like I have a deep interest and knowledge about Pierre Cardin.
Where are you?
I'm in my apartment in Manhattan.
Oh, okay.
But also, by the way, I like to tip up and get my ring lights right here.
Oh, that's good. Well, look, lovely to have you here. Meet the guys, Nigella Lawson's here, Hugh Grant, Romesh Ranganathan.
I'm a huge fan of Hugh Grant. I've been watching The Undoing. Don't tell me if you did it. I'm not done.
OK.
We were just talking about it. Yeah, we don't know. We don't know. Now, you're here tonight to tell us about the new Pixar animated film, which you are the voice in. It's called Soul, and it's available on Disney Plus from Christmas Day. And now, like so many Pixar films, this is very high concept. So how do you explain it to people?
Yes. Okay, let me try. So, Soul is the story of a man named Joe Gardner, who is a middle school music teacher, played by Jamie Foxx, and he is always dreaming of getting his big break and playing jazz piano professionally. And right when he finally gets his big break, his life is unexpectedly interrupted. Are we allowed to say he almost dies? He almost dies, guys.
Yeah.
And
yeah, you've said it now.
His soul is temporarily knocked out of his body. And he is taken to it takes a while to explain it.
Yeah.
And he goes to a place called the Great Before, where souls come from. And then he meets my character. Her name is 22, and she's a little precocious, little grouchy little soul who's always refused to go down to earth because she thinks it seems, hard and scary and painful, and no one can convince her to ever go and be born. And so he really wants to take her chance. She would like to skip life. He would like to take her opportunity to live, to go back to his life.
Now, we've got a clip. Now, normally I just go, let's watch a clip. But I don't know whether this is your fault or Pixar's fault, but this is a mortifying...
Wonderful. This is a clip featuring Mr. Graham Norton. So 22 takes Joe Gardner. He's trying to get back to Earth and back into his body. And she says, I know a guy. He's a metaphysical something, and his name is Moonwind. And she drags him through this part of the astral plane. Things kids like.
Yeah.
And I bring Joe to you so you can try to help him get back into his body. And that's what this clip is.
OK, I'm not watching, but here's a clip.
John is in the basement mixing up the medicine on the pavement, thinking about
Ahoy there, fellow astral travellers! Good to see you again, 22.
Moonwind, how are you?
On the brink of madness, thanks for asking.
Hey, got a request for you.
Yeah, I'm trying to get back to my body. Can you help me?
That's what we do. We are the Mystics Without Borders, devoted to helping the lost souls of Earth find their way. I'm Moonwind Star Dancer at your service. That's Windstar Dreamer Moon, Dancer Star Wind Moon, and that's Dreamer Wind Dreamer Dreamer.
These weirdos are gonna help me get back?
Just wait. Let's get this lost soul back home.
Poor fellow. Some people just can't let go of their own anxieties and obsessions, leaving them lost and disconnected from life, and this is the result.
Make a trade?
Looks like another hedge fund manager.
Yes. Now I know how guests feel. But here's the thing. I'd never done anything like this, and I really enjoyed the whole process. But you've done quite a bit of it. Do you still enjoy doing voice work and things?
I love it. It's so, I don't know if anyone else, I don't know, Hugh, if you've ever done it, or Romesh, but it's so freeing. Also, you just don't have to spend any time worrying about how you look. Like, they're going to make you look cute. And I'm a much better actor when no one can see me.
Because you have done it. You did the Aardman film, the
Pirates. Yes, I did. I quite enjoyed it. The weirdest moment for me, I don't know if you've done this with this one, was I love a publicity tour when you're taking it around the world. Yeah. I always say, yes, please. You're not supposed to like that bit, but I love it. Private jet, nice hotel, take a couple of mates. And, but then I realised that in most of the countries we went to, we were watching the premiere. You'd be watching the film, and it would be I was a piece of plasticine, and the voice was the local voiceover guy. So I wasn't in the film, and I was there all day doing interviews about it. So that is odd.
Because Romesh, you have joined the world of animation. You're in a really posh one. What?
Well, it's sort of it's half. It's actually live action, but I'm an animated character. I mean, in Cinderella, they're doing a remake of Cinderella. So I'm playing one of the mouse footmen in that. So
pivotal.
My friend Kay Cannon directed that.
Yeah, so Kay Cannon, yeah. So Kay's brilliant, but it's a musical, and so the first. I know, Graham. That face is absolutely right. They made a huge mistake. So my first day of working on the film was to go and lay down my vocals. It was the first time I met Kay, and the whole team was to sing. And I turned up at this studio in London, and Kay said to me, "Oh, it's so good to meet you, Romesh. Do you need to warm up your vocal cords at all?" And I went, "No, I think I'll be fine. This is as good as it's going to get." And then I went into the booth, and they had the musical director and all this, the execs and everybody there. And then they'd get me to sing some of I'd sing a bit. They go, "Can you do it like, Romesh, we know you're not a singer, but just give this a go." And I did it. And then they would mute their conversation from the booth, and they'd just be like... And then they'd come back and they'd go, "OK, that was really great. Could you do it again with a bit more like how we asked you to?" And then...
Are you sure you're in this film?
Well, I did it again, and then again the silence, and came back to me and said, "I'm going to play the piano and give you a guide." And then they did it again, and I had to do it, I reckon, 17, 18 times. I left that studio and I phoned my agent, And I said, just to let you know, you're probably going to get a call saying I'm not in this film anymore, because it went so badly. But they must have been desperate for diversity or something, because I stayed in.
Phew.
Thank God for those quotas.
Tina, Nigella Lawson's here. I know in lockdown, your daughters have become sort of gourmet chefs.
Yes, they prepared some dinners for us. My husband's a good cook, but he got a break from them a couple times. We did some themed dinners. Since we're all about to lock down again, I recommend these. We did like a Victorian night dinner. We did a Mexican fiesta, and we did the best one though was they did an airline dinner for us, where they set up all the chairs. It was a dream actually, because they set all the chairs like fit one behind the other, no one facing anyone else, and they brought us like warmed nuts on a tray, and they didn't. Children don't understand how much wine is too much wine to pour.
I'm an adult.
The glass of wine was like filled to surface tension.
You sent some pictures of this evening. I mean, they really went all out. Everyone had a window seat.
Yeah, everyone had a window seat. We put a picture of an airplane window on the TV. They made stewardess costumes for themselves.
Oh, let's see the stewardess costumes.
Mm-hmm.
It's so good.
And that's too much wine.
And then, is this the same evening where they put the reading materials in the back of the...
Yeah, they put magazines. They shoved magazines in the back of the chair. We put headphones on like a plane, and we ate in silence, and it was the best night we had in 7 weeks.
I think everyone's going to be doing this. It's the way forward. It's the way forward. Soul is on Disney Plus from Christmas Day. Tina Fey, we hopefully see you in the flesh very soon. Goodbye.
Yeah, thank you. Bye.
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 Thank you. Aww. So, we've been talking about cooking. Let's turn to the head chef herself. Nigella Lawson brings us Cook, Eat, Repeat. Here it is. It is a book, but it's also a new BBC Two series of the same name, which airs Mondays at 8. So, it's a collection of recipes. Is it a themed collection? Is there an overall concept? Or...
No, it isn't really a concept. I mean, it has various areas. It's really just areas that interest me. I wanted to do a book that had more writing in it, which I hadn't done for a couple of 3 books. So I just wanted to sort of think about aspects. I wanted to write about what a recipe is to start off with, what a recipe is, how people both understand or misunderstand what cooking is. So I wanted to write about that. I wanted to write about ingredients I like, so I've got a whole chapter on anchovies.
Now, anchovies are... You can't eat anchovies.
No.
Yeah. Hugh, can you eat an anchovy?
I'm not... I think fish should be banned. I don't care for fish.
Strong words.
Yeah.
So smelly.
OK,
And
really?
so
no fish
disagreeable to the touch.
OK.
Yeah.
Well, so defend the anchovy, because there's
Well, I don't know that I have to defend the anchovy in the sense I'm not proselytising. I feel that as long as those who like to eat anchovies can, I don't mind if those don't. In fact, I don't like... Sometimes I feel you shouldn't... You know, it's very difficult. I am someone who does put forks in people's mouths saying, try it. So I'm trying to stop being that person. But I love this. I don't know who it was who said, you know, the anchovies were the bacon of the sea. And I do think there is something so wonderfully deep, and they've got such a sort of intense, sort of throaty saltiness, which I love.
And also, Hugh probably eats anchovies and doesn't know he's eating them, because they're in lots of things, aren't they?
They are in lots of things, but if they're cooked well and they're good and you start them off at the beginning and add them to some onions in a pan or just cook them in olive oil, they sort of dissolve into it and they aren't salty or particularly fishy. But I think for a lot of people, it's just that...
But that's the thing about fish. People always say, oh, but it doesn't taste of fish. Well, then I think, so what's the point?
But that's why I wouldn't try and make someone. I like saltiness, and I like that very intense
I like
flavour.
Marmite is salty.
Yes.
But fishiness.
But if you went to someone's house and they served fish,
I'd be out of there.
Would you just poke it away?
What if it was an anchovy that had been dipped in Marmite? Would you go for that?
Well, I'd be interested. I'd be fascinated. Yeah, I don't know. It's difficult.
No, but
Every pub you go into now stinks of fish. I'm furious about it. I'm furious about pretty much everything, though.
Well, they're shut now, so cheer up.
Yeah.
My family are fish friends, so I'm eating alone. I can eat so much fish.
Do you? I was going to ask you, Nigella, do you find that some people are reluctant to divulge their family recipes? Because my mum, she does Sri Lanka, like every Sri Lankan dish. My mum's, she's really good. I mean, obviously people do say that about their mums, but mum kind of got a bit of a reputation for being the go-to Sri Lankan cook. And then people will say, oh, Shanti, I really enjoyed your aubergine curry, really enjoyed your mutton curry, could I get the recipe? And my mum admitted to me, only like a couple of weeks ago, she gives the recipe and deliberately omits 2 or 3 ingredients.
That was always the way people did it. It was a sort of old-school thing, because people felt it was theirs and they weren't going to give it away. I think, anyway, often people can't, because the sort of food you like, often no one's ever written a recipe. It's just you put a bit of this in and a bit of that, and then you carry on stirring. I find writing recipes quite hard on that, because something that's written down is... I mean, I enjoy it, but it's as a discipline. But, of course, it traps a recipe in a particular way, which is why I've got so much endless wittering on about you can do this and you can do that, because, in a way, you've got to let things just sort of flow, but you need to be precise as well.
I think you're being nice, because actually my mum is being deliberately deceitful. And then what she'll do is she'll give the recipe, and then they'll go, Shanti, it was really nice. It didn't quite taste like how you do it. She goes, I don't know, maybe it's some magic in the way that I don't know. Well, she kind of get arrogant at that.
Oh, dear. Right, time to head to LA to meet our next guest. She's the star of Enchanted, The Fighter, Vice and American Hustle. Please say hello to Amy Adams. Oh. Hello, Amy Adams. How are you?
I'm well. How are you doing?
I'm very, very well. It looks so sort of glamorous there.
Oh, yeah, it's lies.
And listen, you're really busy behind the camera now as a producer, and I hear there's a particular part of that job that you really enjoy.
I think we're talking about the mom voice, aren't we?
Yeah, so you get quite strict.
It's compassionate, but firm.
Oh, OK.
You know.
What sort of things might you say?
When somebody gives you an idea and it's not what you're going to be going with, you know, you can very much say, you know, that is a really, you know, nice direction to go, but I feel like we might want to move off of that topic now. It's okay when I do it. Most people are pretty patient with it, but I've started using it during lockdown on my husband, and I'm learning that is not going well. So and I refer to him in the mom voice, and I'm like, I don't think we're going to be watching that program tonight. I think some other things in mind.
And haven't you done it on the red carpet as well?
Oh, yeah. I've told this story before. There's this woman on the red carpet that would swear all the time, and I'd finally had it. And I really was like, we do not swear on the red carpet. We behave ourselves on the red carpet. I get very mommy.
Hugh Grant is here. You have a daddy voice, don't you?
Hello, Amy.
Hi.
I do have a daddy voice.
Why does the daddy voice seem like it's a different thing than the mommy voice?
Yeah, I have turned into my father in my old age, and he had the most terrifying bark, and I find I suddenly do it. It frightens my children, it frightens my wife, it frightens the neighbours, it frightens me. It's awful. Suddenly, put that down! You know, it's... I tell you who's got the worst possible directorial bark is Stephen Frears. I don't know if... Did you ever do anything with Stephen Frears?
I haven't, no.
Well, even the most intimate scene with the camera right here and an actress, and you're trying to be really intimate, it's always, action! No, maybe just quieter, because we're trying to be intimate. I'm so sorry, yes, right, let's go again. Right, take 2. Action! Nightmare.
Hey, you're here to talk about your new film, Hillbilly Elegy. It's out next Tuesday on Netflix. This is the latest from Ron Howard. It's based on J.D. Vance's best-selling memoir. So what can you tell us about it?
It's the story of J.D. Vance and his family, and sort of him overcoming his challenges through, you know, the women in his life sort of giving him the inspiration to move forward, and sort of how he leaves his past behind him to create a new future for himself.
OK. Well, look, we're going to watch a clip. This is you and your son, and, of course, your mother, played by the great Glenn Close, and you've just lost your job.
What did they do?
Well, they fired me. What do you think they did?
Gainful employment was cramping her style.
I will get another job.
You could lose your license. What are you doing?
Well, I got a headache. I just need a...
You know, you can't have a goddamn hissy every time you have an off day. You got to think about these kids.
What do you think I've been thinking about since I was 18 years old, huh? Never had a life where I wasn't thinking about the kids.
It's all about us. So what are you gonna do?
Figure something out.
Great plan, Mom.
Ooh. And what struck me, Amy, is that, you know, these people, they're not celebrities, they're not known. And at the end of the film, though, we see the real Beverly, we see the real grandmother. And you went to such lengths to look just like them.
Yeah, we had a great team. I mean, when you see the picture of Glenn and Mama, it's striking. So for everybody who watches the film, stay for the end, because Glenn Close, she's absolutely amazing in the film, but she looks nearly identical to the woman she's playing. It's remarkable.
But you too. You look really like... Because I didn't realise... Are you wearing subtle prosthetics in this?
Yeah, I have a slight nose piece to widen the bridge of my nose, and... then we wear aging makeup towards the end. You catch up with Beverly later. And also these amazing wigs that they made that I had a nickname for, I'm sure you've heard. I nicknamed her the Beaver because it was about 103 degrees in Atlanta. And it felt like I had a hot animal sitting on my head during the shoot. So I would say I feel like I have a beaver sitting on my head. So she became the Beaver.
Well, listen, Amy, it's a little early for Oscar buzz, but I think I hear it. I do. Good luck with Hillbilly Elegy, and thank you so much for joining us tonight. It's been lovely to see you. Amy Adams, everybody.
Nice to see you all remotely.
Now, here's the thing, ladies and gentlemen. Romesh Ranganathan, he's written a book. He has. I've got it. Here it is. As good as it gets, life lessons from a reluctant adult. Now, life lessons, it suggests... Is it... I mean... Self-help sounds awful, but is it an improving book?
Well, it kind of... I started writing it because of the number of self-help books I was seeing, but a lot of the books I'd seen were from people that were in a position of sort of having it nailed and being on top of things. This very much is an inspirational book because you'll read it and you'll think, I'm really glad I'm not him. You know, in terms of... I feel like, you know, I'm pretending to be a dad, I'm not very good at being a husband, and... You know, all of those things. So it's meant to be, you read this kind of mess and you think, wow, I'm actually getting things all right. If you read it and you think he's actually doing all right, then you've got serious problems. But there's other stuff, you know, like about my sex life with my wife and about, you know, about worries I have about hang-ups I'm giving my children because of the way that I'm parenting and all those things that are very exposing in terms of I'm giving away my biggest insecurities about that, in the hope that, you know, people read that and think, well, I'm not the only one going through that kind of thing.
When you talk about parenting, there's lots about your mother in this book, and sometimes I think family members, they don't like being part of the act. Your mother loves it.
Yeah, like, she loves it.
Yeah.
Like, properly loves it. And she also feels that there's a certain amount of status that's come with her level of celebrity. One of the things she loves doing is she gets nervous when she's at a shop that they might not recognise her. And so, regardless of what she's buying, she will always sort of pay with her card and make sure they see the surname. Just sort of go, yes, that is Ranganathan, correct. So she feels like she's won the lottery or something. But one of the things I keep having to say to her, she's just overthinking it. She wrote off her car at the beginning of lockdown, and then she couldn't get any... All the car places are closed down. She was trying to get a replacement. She's a key worker. She works for Royal Mail, so she was trying to figure out a way to get to work. And I said to her, just take my car. I've got a Mini. You can just borrow that for as long as you want. And so she borrowed the car, and then it got to the point where we were talking about getting another car. And I said to her, what do you want to get? And she said, you know, the problem is, Romesh, is not as easy as just buying a car, because I'm a celebrity's mother. And with that becomes a certain amount of expectation. I don't want people to think, oh, why is Shanti driving this? I said, well, I tell you what, Mum. I said, why don't you just keep the Mini? It's you know, just have it. It's fine. I don't mind. And she said, darling, I don't think I should be seen driving a Mini. I said, Mum, the celebrity that you're a mother of drives the Mini. How can it not be good enough for you? Yeah, it's just she just properly loves it. She just really does get nervous about bringing across that status, you know.
And I have to say, I hardly recognised you because, of course, we're used to you with the big, luxuriant beard.
Yes, well, I'm doing a show with Rob Beckett about drag, and so we're sort of looking at the whole culture and the art of it, and part of that is that we're developing our own drag act. And so a few days ago, we had our first kind of attempt at getting our looks. And so I thought it would be great to, you know, commit to it properly.
Yes.
And shave my beard off. And I've got to be honest, I regret it hugely because before, you know, I had a kind of a hipstery beard and now I look like I work for Google. It's not been great.
But here's the weird thing. I think often men think, oh, if I drag up, I'll look gorgeous because you'll be wearing makeup and, you know, I'll look better than I normally do. And I think normally men look terrible, worse. Romesh, Ranganathan, no. Look at this.
Oh, hello.
Yeah. Chantez, you stay.
Yeah.
Do you have a name?
Gorgeous.
Well, based on how I look, Mum would be... because I look just like her, which is a little bit horrifying. But I haven't... So that's the next stage of this. So that was us getting our look. And then now we've got to work on what the persona is.
Is this for one show, or is it a whole series?
Well, it's a series, but we're only looking at drag for the one show.
Seems a lot of work to go to for one show.
Well, I just sort of feel like...
It's not for a show, is it?
I was going to say...
Yeah, a show.
No.
Sure, OK.
Yeah, I mean, listen, am I going to carry it on afterwards? Definitely. Yeah. I mean, it'd be something to do the encore at the end of the tour.
Well, listen, good luck with that and the book. Romesh, Ranganathan, everybody. Yeah! Feel the love. Feel the love. Right, it's time for music. This homegrown star has had a record-breaking year with her new album, Future Nostalgia. Here performing her current single, Levitating, it's Dua Lipa!
I got you, moonlight, you're my starlight. I need you all night. Come on, dance with me. Come on, dance with me. I'm levitating. If you wanna run away with me, I know a galaxy and I can take you for a ride. I had a premonition that we fell into a rhythm where the music don't stop for life. Glitter in the sky, glitter in my eyes, shining just the way you like. If you're feeling like you need a little bit of company, you met me at the perfect time. You want me, I want you, baby. My sugar boo, I'm levitating. The Milky Way, we're renegading. Yeah. I got you, moonlight, you're my starlight. I need you all night. Come on, dance with me. I'm levitating. You, moonlight, you're my starlight. I need you all night. Come on, dance with me. I'm levitating. I believe that you're for me. I feel it in our energy. I see us written in the stars. We can go wherever, so let's do it now or never, baby. Nothing's ever too far. Glitter in the sky, glitter in our eyes, shining just the way we are. I feel like we're forever every time we get together, but whatever, let's get lost on Mars. You want me, I want you, baby. My sugar boo, I'm levitating. The Milky Way, we're renegading. Yeah. I got you, moonlight, you're my starlight. I need you all night. Come on, dance with me. I'm levitating. You, moonlight, you're my starlight. I need you all night. Come on, dance with me. I'm levitating. You can fly away with me tonight. You can fly away with me tonight. Baby, let me take you for a ride. Yeah. I'm levitating. You can fly away with me tonight. You can fly away with me tonight. Baby, let me take you for a ride. My love is like a rocket, watch it blast off. And I'm feeling so electric, bounce my ass off. And even if I wanted to, I can't stop. My love is like a rocket, watch it blast off. And I'm feeling so electric, bounce my ass off. And even if I wanted to, I can't stop. You want me, I want my sugar boo. I'm levitating, the Milky Way, we're renegading. I got you, moonlight, you're my starlight. I need you all night. Come on, dance with me. I'm levitating. You can fly away with me tonight. You can fly away with me tonight. Baby, let me take you for a ride. I'm levitating. You can fly away with me tonight. You can fly away with me tonight. Baby, let me take you for a ride. I got you, moonlight, you're my starlight. I need you all night. Come on, dance with me. I'm levitating.
Wow! Dua Lipa, everybody! Come on over, and thank you very much to the backing singers and dancers who are marching towards us like an advancing army.
I need a little bit of help. Thank you.
She is our COVID queen! All hail!
Okay, we've got it.
Have a seat, Doo.
Thank
There you go. That is...
Sorry.
Is that really heavy?
It's a lot. It's really heavy. It's like a whole workout.
It's amazing, is what it is.
Thank you.
It's phenomenal. Thank you so much for that.
So I'm not quite sure how to sit in this dress. Here we go. We'll give this a go. Let's see how it.
It looks like a Christmas bauble. It's a Christmas come early. It's just so lovely and sparkly.
Thank you.
Yeah.
My dad always used to tell me that every time I left the house, I looked like a Christmas tree. There was always something. I either had like a massive bow on my head or just something, and he was just like, maybe take one thing off at least.
That song can be found on Future Nostalgia, the album. This is the Club Future Nostalgia, which is the bonus edition.
Yes, this is the bonus album.
And this one, very posh, it contains Future Nostalgia plus all the remixes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because you've remixed with lots of famous people, and it's out next Friday, I believe.
Yes, next Friday.
Now, sadness, ladies and gentlemen. The tour, you know what happened. Is it delayed, or is it just you put it on hold, or what's happened to it?
Well, I was initially meant to go on tour in April, and so we were just about to start rehearsals about a week before lockdown started, so that got postponed. And so that was happening now, September, October of next year. But instead of, you know, because I love touring and I've been wanting to go on tour for so long, especially with this record, I decided to do a live stream show called Studio 2054, which is happening on the 27th of November.
Yes.
Yeah, so that's next week.
Normally, I have to tell the singer all these things, but you know it all.
Oh, I know,
I'm very impressed.
It's a lot of fun. We've really... well, at least I feel like it's been such a massive step up. We built all these incredible custom sets, from, like, a roller rink to a New York rave to an 80s TV show, and I have all these incredible guest performances.
Oh, yes, who have you got?
Performances.
Who have you got? Who have you got?
I've got Miley Cyrus, which we announced today.
Wow.
FKA Twigs.
Yeah.
Angèle, and we have a few others that I'm going to announce very soon.
Well, listen, good luck with that, the 27th of November, and thank you so much for that fantastic performance. Dua Lipa, everybody.
Thank you so much.
Everybody. Hey! Right, that's nearly it. Before we go, just time for a visit to the Big Red Chair. Now, we're still in lockdown, and our normal studio audience are watching at home. So, who has volunteered to take one for the team in the Red Chair tonight? It's Romesh, Ranganathan. Hello.
Hi, what an honour to be able to do this for you. Thank you.
Thank you. No, seriously. Thank you very much for doing this. So, if you've seen it, what happens is people at home, they tell their story, and then Romesh wills them to be good so he doesn't get flipped.
Aha.
But if they're not good, he does get flipped. So, who's up first?
I'm Deb.
Hello, Deb. And where are you?
I'm in Kensington, New Hampshire.
Oh, OK. Lovely. And what do you do there?
I work in software development for a medical device company.
OK. And your dog is very good with that ball.
I gave them that to keep them from interrupting us.
OK, because they're quite distracting, but...
Sorry.
No, I like it. I'm enjoying looking at the dog. OK, Deb, Romesh, Deb.
Hi, Deb.
Off you go with your story.
Hang on, Romesh. When I was pregnant with my first child, my hair started shedding, and I'd find long strands all over. And one morning, I was working with the senior VP on a presentation. He was at the screen, and I was leaning over as we both looked at it when I realized I had shed on him. There was a big blonde hair there. And I went to remove the hair from the top of his head. only to find it was still attached. His hair, not mine. One of his had fallen over the top of his head, and he said, "Ouch!" And I was mortified. And I apologized.
I felt bad for it's the dogs I felt sorry for. I feel the dogs are disappointed in their mistress. I feel the dogs are just, look busy with the ball. She's humiliating herself. There he goes. He's back. He's back. Well done, sir. I'm so sorry, Romesh.
No, do you know what? I fully support your decision on that one. It promised so much, but delivered very little.
Who's up next? Hello.
Hello.
What's your name, sir?
It's Mike. No, Mike.
Mike, I really hope you have children, Mike.
I do indeed, yes. It's not a hobby.
How did they find him? Yeah. Well, funny story. Where are you, Mike?
In the West Midlands by Walsall.
OK, keep it vague. And what do you do, Mike?
I work in human resources.
OK, very good. So, Romesh, Mike, Romesh, off you go with your story.
Good luck, Mike.
Thank you. So about 14 years ago, as a surprise to my then wife-to-be, I wrote to one of your guests who, well, she was a massive fan of, asking them if they would be kind enough to send me a good luck message that I could incorporate in my wedding speech. Kindly responded and sent me this with a message, "Mike's a lucky man. Lots of love, Hugh." Oh. So thank you to Hugh for sending this. I mean, we're divorced now, but...
Yeah. Turns out my mom's so lucky. You can walk! You can walk! Yeah. They were obviously married for a long time because you look like a child in that picture. That was very good. What a nice thing to do.
Most unlike me. I must have had a very efficient assistant.
That really is all we've got time for. If you'd like to have a go at the share yourself and tell your story, you can contact us via our website at this very address. Please say huge thank you to all of my guests tonight. Dua Lipa! Amy Adams! Romesh Ranganathan! Nigella Lawson! Tina Fey! And Hugh Grant! Join me next week with pop star Gary Barlow, star baker Nadia Hussain, quiz star Richard Osman, star man Tim Peake, and superstar Mariah Carey. I'll see you then. Good night, everybody. Bye-bye.
5 decades of the very best live music at the BBC. Radio 2 presents In Concert 50 now on the BBC Sounds app. BBC 3's taken over What Happened When the Stars of RuPaul's Drag Race went on a UK tour. God Save the Queens is next.